So, guys, in today's session, we have Molishka, my very good friend, and she's a robotics enthusiast. And more importantly, the interesting thing is she has a community of more than 300 plus students and working in their regional area to spread awareness about robotics. And she is a very, interesting person to know in person. And yeah, let's get started. And can you give a little brief about yourself, Molishka?
So, I'm Molishka and I'm working in the field of robotics. It's been like 3+ years, like 4 years. Sorry, 4 years. I've been working in the field of robotics and I've done a lot of internships, like many internships. Like I was an intern in Asimo Robotics for 1.5 years and along with it, I have also started my own community named as Robostan and gave training to 1,000+ students as well, and given many online sessions as well. And yes, so still I'm learning a lot of things in it as well.
So my it is a very interesting background, and it seems like you have learned a lot through your journey. And here's my first question for you: how did you first became interested in robotics, and what led you to pursue it as a career in the first place?
I've been interested in robotics since I was in my ninth grade, actually. But being in Indian society, I was only allowed to focus on my JEE and IIT preparation only. So I started exploring this domain when I was in my first year of my college. So, to be more specific, I've always been curious about the world around me and how automation is being implemented in my surrounding. So, when I had an interaction, first time when like I got my interest in robotics, I saw a movie named as Robot in
Oh,
which Rajnikant played a role of a robot. So I saw that movie and I was quite interested in knowing like how a person is giving command to a robot and that a robot is following that command and how this machine is working like that. I was quite I was quite excited in knowing about it how this machine is working.
oh,
So yes, this was the first incident I was quite curious about the thing that how this thing is happening. After that, I started exploring thing when I was in my first year and then started working in it, and then I simply began to explore my surrounding and started to gaining knowledge for the same. Yeah.
it's definitely like you got the inspiration from our Talaiva Rajinikanth. So previously you had experience as an intern at Asima Robotics. So my second question for you is very simple. And what steps did you take to land your first job as a robotics engineer, like in your internship? And what advice you would give to someone just getting started out in the field?
Okay. So nowadays everyone has been heard of LinkedIn, an
Yeah.
online platform where we can meet the people of same interest.
Mm,
So I also started posting my projects. I just started my work with very minor projects actually,
mm,
and then I started putting my projects over LinkedIn, and then I met people having same inclination, have same field of interest, area of interest. I
okay.
started communicating them, and then I got to know that I can also work with them, and then I started connecting them, and I approached them, and this is how I got my first internship, and I got this internship when I was in my third semester.
Oh, how was the learning experience with that internship, your first internship?
Actually, my first internship was an R&D based internship. My
Uh-huh.
topic was features and functionalities of industrial collaborative robot assisting to our day-to-day life.
Oh,
So my task was to work on the safety standards of industrial collaborative robots and what are the enhancements we can implement in those robots. So it was quite interesting topic for me because I was already quite interested in collaborative robots and industrial robots and humanoid robots. So I was it was my task to know about everything, learn about industrial robots, collaborative robots, and what are the common stuff there, what are the safety standards, and I learned each and everything about it. So this journey was quite interesting for me. I learned a lot of things there, and Even apart from that, I also learned many other things as well. For example, I also worked on Hindi speech recognition system as well
Oh,
there.
uh-huh.
I worked on natural language processing as well there.
Insightful journey you had. So, and continuing with that, I just have just a particular question. And let's say I'm a beginner. And what are the essential resources or
Mhm.
tools like you would recommend for somebody who's just getting started to learn about robotics? And
Okay. So basically, I would like to say that it totally depends on your interest. Like you are inclined with, I mean, robotics is a very vast domain. It should be on your inclination, whether you are inclined towards designing on simulations, or you are inclined with programming section, electrical section, mechanical section, or electronic section. The most important thing I would like to mention here is we should not jump on multiple section, multiple parts at a single time. It
uh,
should be like we should be specified with our inclination that towards which domain we are inclined with, whether we are inclined for hardware designing, whether we are inclined for programming section. Even if we want to work on multiple parts, it should be, it should be in proper sequence, so
okay,
that you'll not be get confused in it, that what to do and what not to do. Because if you will start two particular domains at a single time, you'll be get confused, like what to do, what not to do, like what should I do right now, and where to start. So I would say that you should start with a single thing, and then proceed according to that.
okay. Let's say what are the tools like you recommend in general for the beginner to start learning if they want to get into robotics?
If you want to start for designing section, you can go on with Fusion 360, Blender. You can start with this. Or if you are inclined towards simulation and programming section, you can learn ROS as well. So these are the basic things you can start with.
Oh, so okay, and that was insightful. And my fourth question, okay, so my fourth question is something like it's out of curiosity. In your opinion, what are some of the most important skills or qualities that a successful robotics engineer should possess, and how can someone best develop these skills?
Okay. So, according to me, a successful robotics engineer requires a range of skills and qualities to effectively design and develop and maintain robotic systems. For example, a robotics engineering requires a thorough understanding of mechanical, electric, and software engineering principles, basic principles actually, because this field is constantly evolving. Successful
Uh,
engineers must be able to think creatively in order to develop innovative solutions to complex problems. And one another and most important thing that one should have, that is attention to the details, like attention to, because the robotic systems, the main purpose of designing robotic systems uh, to reduce errors, sorry, right, uh, to make the robotic systems more and more precise.
hmm,
So there's a
yeah,
need to there should be more and more attention to the details. And
okay.
along with it, one should have more and more problem solving skills as well, to identify and troubleshoot all the problems.
So it is like the constant as the whole environment is constantly developing, and the successful robotics engineers should evolve accordingly. And second, should have details like eye for the detail. And third, they should be like very analytically
Yeah,
and logically good with that. So yeah, great.
yeah.
And following this question, my fifth question is, and obviously something I personally want to know. And what are some of the biggest challenge or obstacle that you have faced in your career as a robotic engineer, and how you worked to overcome them? So, yeah, obviously everybody would have faced struggle, and how what struggle you faced in this career to become a good robotics engineer, and what you did to overcome this.
Okay. So when I started, working in the field of robotics, I faced a lot of challenges, but I'll be mentioning two major challenges
Uh-huh.
that I faced a lot. The first one was the lack of learning resources, as uh, I was in electronics and communication department, and
Okay.
my inclination was towards robotics only.
Uh,
So there were lack of learning resources a lot, because and you know because there were no robotics club in my campus.
mm,
I was just at second thing. It was COVID time
okay.
when I started working in it.
Uh-huh.
So it became very difficult for me to communicate with everyone, and but yes, I
No.
slowly I started working in it, and connected with the people having same interest, and then learned a lot of things. Second problem was the lack of guidance.
Okay.
Like, I just wanted to make my career in robotics, but I didn't had any idea like how I can do it, how
Mm-hmm.
I can achieve my goal. I
Mm-hmm.
was curious. I was quite eager to know about it, but there was a lack of guidance in it. What path I should choose, what will
Oh.
be my
Mm-hmm.
inclination.
Uh-huh.
I took a lot of time in exploring my inclination, how I should start working in it, what should I do. And I just solved this challenge only by communicating with people, and I contacted people, and learned a lot of things. I worked in many domains. In starting, I tried to work in each and every domain, but after slowly I got to know where I am inclined, what
Oh,
is my passion. So
okay.
yes. Yeah.
So almost like the
So this is
experimental
how
phase.
I learned.
So it's like you experimented a
Hmm.
lot to know your inclination, like your patient, what is your
Yeah.
patient towards. And second, you reached out to people who were like already there, been there, and you asked them what you have to learn resources and where resources can be found and what tools to be learned. And that's how we started. It's like it's a great insight, and that's how we starts. And that's the only way to start. Ask people out. Don't hesitate to ask help in the first place. And continuing that, engineers should possess a skill set to stay up to date. And what are your steps? Like, how do you stay up to date to the latest advancement and trends in robotics? And what role do you see that technology playing in the future of this field?
Okay. So as I told you in my previous answers as well,
Mm.
there's an online platform, LinkedIn.
Okay.
There are many other platforms as well, you can where people used to post their work.
Mm-hmm.
They used to post articles, they used to publish articles on trending technologies,
Mm-hmm.
and even there are many things they used to post, how we can implement them in our day to day lives as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can I can suggest two of the social handles, LinkedIn and Twitter. As I told you in my previous answers as well, LinkedIn is an online platform where we can see the work, latest trending technologies. People are trying to implement those technologies in their projects, in their work, in the industries as well. So one platform is that, another one is Twitter as well. We can see what people are doing, how people are implementing their ideas, how people are implementing the trending technologies in their work.
Uh-huh.
And along with it, we can also see we can read articles. like uh, People used to publish their work in the form of articles, used to write on trending technologies usually. So we can learn from there too. Along with it, we can also attend you can also attend internet international and national conferences, seminars, webinars. There are a lot of ways to stay up to date. about latest advancements.
Oh, two. So Twitter and LinkedIn are the best social medias to connect with people. And third, you can learn from these resources to stay updated in the industry. You can learn from articles. Via articles, you can go with Medium
Yeah.
in sense. And also you have new LinkedIn newsletters. If you follow particular people inside robotics industry, obviously they post updates on daily industry updates, and that's the best way to learn and to stay updated. And continuing out to our last question, finally, what advice would you give to someone who is passionate about robotics and looking to make a meaningful impact in this exciting and rapidly evolving industry? So, what's your advice, like takeaway from this for anyone who's getting started and freshman? Yeah.
So the only advice I just want to give to every robotic enthusiast to
Uh-huh.
stick to this particular domain, because this domain is going to have a lot of future scope. And I'd like to explain this from my own experience. When
Uh-huh.
I started in this field,
Uh-huh.
in my entire batch, I was the only girl who's working in this field. And at that time, it was a COVID time. There was a lot of, there was a lack of, actually, there was lack of learning resources for me. And it was quite difficult for me to, I was quite confused at the thing, like how to start, but only thing I knew was that I am eager, I am passionate about my field, and I just want to make my career in it only. So yes, if you want to, make a career in this field, even after even if you are not having prior knowledge in it, if you started today only, you can make your career in it.
Yeah, obviously, because no, I once thought like the robotics engineering is saturated, like in sense we had previous like we had no very big updates, but suddenly after the surge of AI,
Mhm.
I started seeing like the combination of natural language processing and with robotics. Like the Boston recently added, Boston really recently added GPT to their robots. Like they can really interact
Huh.
and talk, and they have used Google's text to speech and GPTs to receive, like, to generate uh, what replace to the user. And it's like, to be honest, it's amusing, and where robots talk, react, walk to the user's command, and not just walk and do things, also talk. So that's something very interactive. So obviously, if you get started with robotics, and it has lot of advantages, like in this era of AI and industry 4.0, and obviously it's a great thing to get started. So, and thanks
Yeah.
for being here, like as a guest, and thanks for accepting my invite to be here. And thanks, Monica.